You disgusting traitors! How could you bring him here?
Get out of my house right now!
You disgusting traitors! How could you bring him here?
Get out of my house right now!
Before we begin, your support means everything to me. If you're new here, join our little story family, hit subscribe, and feel every emotion with us. The night I watched my wife walk into our home with her lover, I stood behind the kitchen counter holding a cake that said, "Welcome home, love." And she never saw it coming. I wish I could tell you this story began with anger. It didn't. It began with silence, the kind that sits on your chest, heavy and cold. When you already know the truth, but you're waiting for it to break you anyway. For weeks I had watched her drifting away. Late nights, hushed calls, sudden smiles that didn't belong to me anymore. I wasn't guessing. I wasn't insecure. I knew. I had the screenshots, the recordings, the timestamps, everything except the courage to say the words out loud. So instead of confronting her, I planned something else. A surprise home party. Balloons, lights, cake, a table set for 3. Not because I wanted to celebrate, but because I wanted the truth to walk through the door by itself. And when the lock clicked that night, when her voice echoed in the hallway, and when another man's laugh followed right behind her, I realized the party wasn't for her. It was for the end of our marriage. The reveal, it started the moment she froze at the sight of me, smiling before everything shattered. Our home was the warmest place I knew, a small 2-bedroom house on a quiet street. Nothing fancy, nothing grand, but it smelled like cinnamon. Every morning, because she loved lighting those little scented candles. The living room was always messy with her books, her half-finished art projects, and the throw blanket she kept stealing from my side of the couch. That was our normal, soft, familiar, safe. She would hug me from behind while I made breakfast, rest her chin on my shoulder, and whisper, "You're my whole world. You know that." And I believed her. God, I believed her with everything I had. Weekends meant grocery runs together. Laughing at nonsense, racing the cart down the empty aisles. Nights meant watching movies until she fell asleep on my arm, her hair pressed against my chest, her breath warm and steady. I used to count those moments as blessings, thinking love was something predictable, something stable. Looking back now, the signs were their tiny shifts I ignored. A new perfume, a hidden smile at messages she never explained, sudden office deadlines that always came after dinner. But back then, I still trusted her completely. And that's what made the betrayal hit like a knife. It happened on a Tuesday night. The kind of night where nothing unusual is supposed to happen. I was in the kitchen rinsing dishes when her phone, left carelessly on the counter, buzzed once. Then again, not the usual notifications. These vibrations were short, urgent, almost nervous. I shouldn't have looked. I tell myself that sometimes. But when the screen lit up on its own, the preview was impossible to ignore. "I'm outside. Can't wait to see you again. Wear that dress? Your husband won't be home early, right?" My heart didn't just drop, it collapsed. My fingers turned cold. The room spun for a second, and I gripped the counter to steady myself. My breath came out in a broken whisper, half disbelief, half prayer. No, not her. Please, not her. For a moment, pain swallowed everything. Memories, promises, trust. But right under that pain, something else surfaced. A strange, quiet calm, sharp, clear, calculated. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't delete the messages or throw the phone. I just stood there, shaking, staring at the words that burned away the last bit of innocence left in our marriage. And in that cold silence, one thought formed inside me. If she wants him, I'll let her bring him home. 4 hours after seeing those messages, I paced the living room like a ghost, trapped in my own home. Every instinct in me screamed to confront her, to demand answers, to ask why, to stop the betrayal before it became physical again. Another part of me wanted to leave immediately, pack a bag, disappear, let the truth rot behind me. But every time I imagined either choice, something held me back. What if she lied? What if she cried? What if she twisted everything and made me look insane? No, I needed more than suspicion. I needed clarity, proof, a complete picture of what I was really dealing with. So I forced myself to breathe, to sit, to think like a man who still had control over his life. Instead of reacting, I began collecting every detail, timelines, messages, patterns, not for revenge, not yet, but to understand the exact moment my marriage truly died. My hands were still trembling when I picked up her phone, but my mind had never been clearer. I opened the thread with him, typed slowly, "Carefully come over tonight. He won't be home. Send." The moment the message delivered, a cold rush shot through my chest. This was it. No turning back. 3 dots appeared immediately. Typing. On my way? My heart hammered. My throat tightened. I could almost hear my pulse in the silent room. The bathroom door opened. She stepped out in her robe, humming softly, acting like my world hadn't just collapsed. "Dinner soon." She smiled. I nodded. Short, sharp, contained. Inside, panic clawed at me. Outside, I was stone. Then, ding dong. The doorbell echoed through the house like a gunshot. She froze. I didn't. I walked toward the door, every step measured, every breath controlled. The trap was set. She reached the hallway just as I opened the door. Her lover stood there smirking, confident until he saw me. The smile died instantly. Behind me, her breath caught. What? Why is he? She stuttered, stepping backward. I held up her phone, her face drained of color. In an instant, the lies began, sharp, frantic, desperate. It's not what you think. He just showed up. I was going to tell you, we're just friends. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't move. I just asked one quiet question. How long? Something inside her collapsed. Her shoulders shook. Her lips trembled. And the truth finally broke through whatever script she had rehearsed. A few months? She whispered. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Her voice cracked and she covered her face with trembling hands. Her body folded in on itself, sinking to the floor. And I stood there watching the woman I loved fall apart, while the man she ruined us for stood frozen in my doorway, speechless. After her confession, silence filled the house, heavy, raw, suffocating. But I wasn't done. I needed the whole truth, not pieces. So while she cried on the floor, I walked to my desk, opened my laptop, and started pulling the threads together. Emails first. Dozens of them, hidden under a fake work folder. Late-night exchanges, secret jokes, hotel confirmations masked as team meetings. Each line stabbed deeper. Then the shared calendar. I scrolled through the past 3 months. Her overtime nights perfectly aligned with his days off. Every single time. I checked her gallery backup. Screenshots. Deleted messages. Selfies. She never sent me, dressed up, smiling, captioned only with a heart. The timeline formed itself like a documentary unfolding in real time. Dates, patterns, receipts. By the time I finished, I didn't just know she cheated. I knew exactly how she replaced me piece by piece without ever looking. Backed out the next morning, I walked into a lawyer's office with a folder, so thick, it felt like I was carrying the weight of my marriage in my hands. He skimmed through the screenshots, the emails, the timestamps, his expression, professional, controlled, but sharp. When he finally looked up, his voice was calm, measured, almost too steady compared to the storm inside me. You did the right thing by not exploding, he said. Most people ruin their own case by reacting emotionally. You documented everything. He shuffled the papers, nodding slowly. Listen carefully, he continued. From today, no shouting, no threats, no dramatic confrontations, just collect, observe, stay silent, and smart. Let her mistakes speak for themselves. For the first time in days, I felt a strange sense of power return. Not revenge, not hatred, just clarity. I walked out knowing one thing. I wasn't fighting for her anymore. I was fighting to protect myself. The plan wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It didn't need to be. I decided to let the truth destroy everything on its own. No yelling, no broken furniture, no threats. Just a quiet, calculated path. I would gather every message, every date, every lie. File for separation without warning. Freeze the joint account, she thought. I never checked. Hand my lawyer the full timeline. And when the papers arrived, she would finally face the life she built behind my back without the chance to twist the story or paint herself as the victim. My revenge wasn't chaos. It was clarity. Her family gathered in our living room that evening, a small dinner she thought she had planned. She sat stiffly, eyes darting between me and the door, knowing something was wrong, but not knowing how wrong. Her lover stood in the corner, pretending to check his phone, pretending he belonged there. I placed the thick folder on the table. Her mother frowned. Her father leaned forward. I opened it and read every message, every date, every I miss you, every he won't find out. The room fell silent. Her mother gasped. Her father's hands trembled. She broke. Right there. In front of everyone, the truth finally crushed her. The moment I closed the folder, the room dissolved into chaos except for me. I stayed still, quiet, steady. She collapsed first, hands shaking, tears pouring, words stumbling out in broken fragments. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Please, just listen. Her mother sobbed into her hands. Her father stared at her like she was a stranger. Her sister kept whispering, "How could you do this?" over and over. The other man slipped toward the door, avoiding every eye in the room, the same man she risked everything for. Leaving her alone when the truth came out, I stood up. No yelling, no final speech. Just one sentence. I'm done. Her cry cracked the room open raw, pleading, desperate. Please don't leave. We can fix it. I love you. But I walked past her without looking back, out the door, into the night, into a life where betrayal didn't live in every corner. And for the first time in months, I could finally breathe. And that's how it ended, not with shouting, not with revenge fueled by rage, but with a quiet truth that broke everything louder than any scream ever could. Sometimes the hardest part isn't leaving. It's accepting that the person you loved simply stopped choosing you long before you realized it. If you were in my place, walking out of that house with nothing but your dignity left, what would you have done? Would you stay and try to fix it? Would you walk away like I did? And most importantly, where are you watching this from right now? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters. Your feelings matter. And who knows, your story might be the next one I tell.